Hey, in today's video, I want to focus really on how to get creative with your conversation starter cards, whether that's the Speed Mentoring deck or any other deck that you're using, when you organize and plan your one-on-one coaching sessions. So if you are a facilitator or a coach, you might have noticed that a lot of the activities that we use in a classroom setting don't really transfer very well to a one-on-one coaching scenario. We can't pair and share, we can't let people work together. So I like to use conversation starters like the Speed Mentoring Toolkit in order to prepare and also facilitate my one-on-one coaching sessions. So what you could do is you could create your own conversation starters depending on the topics that you're working through, or you can get a deck at approachservices.com in our shop in order to facilitate this. So if you have cards like this, what is important is that you involve your client in the preparation of the coaching session. So what I mean by that is that as you go through the topics, it's important that when they select a card that you want to use to structure your coaching session, they can also say, this is a topic I am not interested in, and discard it on the side and say no, I don't actually want to talk about this more. Depending on how advanced your learner is with the topic, you want to choose between five, maybe more so for a beginner, to probably about 10 topics for your coaching session, depending also on the time frame that you have planned for the session. So let's say you have landed on your 5 topics and your learner and yourself have kind of chosen the 5 topics. So the first step is to prepare for the session by agreeing on the 5 topics for the session. And then when you come to the session, you want to have those 5 cards on a stack in the middle of the table between you or wherever you're coaching as well. Now the session framework or the structure goes as follows. You pick the first card and your client is going to share their understanding of the first card with you. So in this case, I have, are there any quotes that you think of often which motivate you to grow or improve? So your client might now share any quotes that they're aware of or any things that motivate them in their day-to-day activity. And the coach is listening, and in the first 1 or 2 minutes of the client talking about the topic, you want to make sure as a coach not to interrupt or to contribute to what you're hearing. Then the coach is going to put that card underneath and is going to select the second card from the deck and talk about this. What do you need to know at the start of a transformational journey? So now it's the coach's turn for 1 to 2 minutes to structure an answer to this particular question and share some of the information. And the client is listening carefully to all the information. And you continue through the deck until you're through all the 5 cards, and the card that you started with initially is now on the top of your deck. Now it is your coach's turn in order to summarize what they heard the client said to that particular question, and maybe add some advice or mentoring to the topic as well. Add some corrections if it is a topic that the coach is particularly in depth with the subject matter and the client is still a beginner, or add some of the clarifying questions as well. Again, after 1 to 2 minutes, you want to now make sure that you put the card underneath and you get to the second question that was originally answered by the coach. And now the client's turn is to summarize back to the coach what they have heard for this particular topic by the coach shared, what were their takeaways, and then to say to add any clarifying questions that they need to have answered in order to fully understand the topic. Again, after a couple of minutes, it's now time to move back through the deck. And when you've gone the second time around with your deck and you have that original first card back on the top, you are now done and completed with your session. What is really beneficial of structuring your one-on-one coaching session with a mutually prepared conversation structure like this is that there is a naturally flowing conversation as well as a structure and an intent as to what you are going to talk about. What I like to do is use a recording software or maybe even a AI recording in order to summarize the biggest takeaways or record the session, which is then a really lovely takeaway for the coach in order to in-depth reflect on the session and take some of the learnings back into their workplace and their normal life. I hope you enjoyed this creative way of using conversation starter cards in a one-on-one coaching session, and I'd like to know in the comments below how you use them. If you don't have your cards yet, head over to approachservices.com, get your conversation starter cards. Our speed mentoring deck is one of the clients' favorites and very popular, so let me know if you want a deck. And I see you in the next video. Bye for now.